Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is A3D, and today I wanted to take a look at the Meshy website. If you're not familiar with Meshy, this is a website that will allow you to convert text to 3D models or potentially images to 3D models. Here, looking at their trending gallery, we can see some of the models that have actually been created using text. So here's one by Curtision. It looks like he or she created a king using Unreal Engine 5 was a text prompt, and these are all the negative prompts, things that they don't want to see in their model. And just looking at this up front, it's looking pretty clean. There are, of course, some errors there, but the nice part is that if you wanted to, you could potentially take the model into a software like Blender and essentially patch it up as necessary, at least until Meshy develops better tools to hopefully make editing your models much easier and streamless. So I figured today I'd show you all exactly how that works using text in 3D. So here's just one case scenario where I converted text into a Cybertruck, just using Cybertruck with the hashtag cartoon character or a current challenge they have going on. And you can kind of see the model here. It pretty much got the concept down of what a Cybertruck should look like. There are some errors going on, but again, potentially something that could be fixed in Blender with the right know-how. So I figured we'd take it for a spin and just kind of see what other types of text to 3D models we can come up with. So just kind of thinking off my head here, if we were to type in tooth, smiling, and put in some negative prompts. And here they have like a prompt library. You click this button and you can actually put what you don't want in here. So we don't want ugly, blurry, messy, or deformed. We'll just do that. I'll leave the art style to auto. So it's going to pick one of these 5 art styles based off what I put up here. Of course, click generate, and that will cost about 5 credits. Whenever you sign up for Meshy, you do get free 200 credits, and as well, they do have a plan where you can get 50% off right now with the plans they have loaded. So that's what I did. I went with the max tier plan. It says 48, but I actually got it for $24 a month, paying the yearly subscription. So it came out to about $288, if I'm not mistaken. And I chose this because I had a feeling I would be creating models more often. So, if y'all come around the channel, you can certainly take a look at that. All right, looks like we're almost complete here. And so I just completed the first one, and I said tooth smiling. In my mind, I was thinking of like a simple tooth with a smiley face on it, but it looks like it actually made some mold of teeth. Yeah. And when you generate a Meshy, you get 5 certain models to pick from. They're low res at first, and then you can refine them for another 20 credits. But since this is technically not what I'm looking for, let's see if we can prompt this up a little more. Single tooth smiling. We'll try that. Cartoon's fine. So we'll generate again and see where that comes from. All right, so it looks like we have our models now. And this is about as close as it's going to get. That is definitely a single tooth as I requested. I think I'm gonna go with this one. So when it comes to refining, you can pick if you want low, medium, or high. Per the guide, it looks like medium is the recommended for a cartoon style. So I will roll with that one and click refine to see what it looks like in higher detail. But from a low detail standpoint, it looks like it got the root of the tooth itself and then the actual tooth. So I have to say it looks like it came out pretty good considering this is text only. and we'll see how the refinement comes once it's finished. All right, so it looks like it has finished refining our model. And if you notice here, it says in 3 minutes. I think for the most part, this is mostly what it's going to look like, but in about 2 to 3 minutes, it's probably going to be at its optimally finished and rendered model. So right now, this is for the most part what I think you're going to see, you have an idea for, but I'm sure if we come back in a few minutes, as you can see, it says now in 2 minutes, it'll be completely finished. But it usually takes about 3 to 5 minutes, somewhere around there, to get a model completely rendered, depending on what it is. But I mean, overall, I think this looks pretty awesome. As you can tell here, just from the modeling, it's pretty smooth. Yeah, there's some imperfections there that probably need to be fixed, but to have this done like 3 or 5 minutes, I think is relatively quick. So let's try some other samples here. Let's see. So I can just type something random like mushroom eating grass, something along those lines. And then I can add things from the prompt library. So you have a style, you can add a style to it, something like a Legend of Zelda style. We can put a material, we can say we want it to be copper. We can put a detail, we'll say we want this to be highly detailed, and we'll kind of leave it for that for now. Negative prompt, even though it's optional, I still kind of put these in. So ugliness, blurriness, messiness, don't want deformed, don't want inconsistent, don't want bad anatomy, good luck with that one. I don't want low quality, I don't want extra limbs. And we will generate that one as well. I'll put on auto and see what it picks from there, but we'll generate and see what that one comes out to be. And then another one that we can type up while we're waiting for that one. We can say foot soldier standing with a musket. Yeah. Using our prompt library again, we're going to go for more of a medieval style, and I would like it highly detailed. Negative prompt, the same that I would typically use here, and we'll generate that one. And then lastly, let's do a Michael Jackson bust. Just fix this capitalization here. Michael Jackson bust, and of course I will also want this to be of highly detailed, ultra realistic. Negative prompt, all that looks pretty good. And for this one, I'm going to select sculpture. And we'll let that one generate as well. Okay, so coming down to our tooth model, as we can see, it says just now, so I believe that this is as high quality as it's going to look for finishing the rendering. Again, I think it looks great for the most part for what I was asking for. And let's see, this was mushroom eating grass, Legend of Zelda, copper, highly detailed. So it is a mushroom on a grass, not necessarily eating it, which is fine. I kind of like this one. Let's see these other ones. Again, this is just low detailed. And we're gonna go ahead and generate this one. We'll refine it, see how that one comes out. This one we said foot soldiers standing with a musket, medieval, highly detailed. And even at a low quality, you can tell that it pretty much got what we were looking for. That one looks pretty good. Okay. Yeah, I think all things considered, we're gonna try the second one here. Refine it. And lastly, Michael Jackson bust, highly detailed, ultra realistic. Look at MJ there. Very good. Look like I tried to spell its name out, but 3D, text to 3D in its infancy. AI sometimes will struggle with text, hands, fingers, that kind of thing. I think all together, yeah, I think we'll go with the second one here. So we'll refine it, see how that one looks. And we'll take a look at these once they get completed. There was one more thing I wanted to show while those other prompts are rendering. That is how you can do animations on Meshy. So let's see, if we go bipedal, cockroach, monster, standing. How detailed. We'll see if we can get us a figure standing that we can do an animation on, just so y'all can get a feel for what Meshy can do. All right, so it looks like our mushroom, Legend of Zelda, highly detailed copper has finished rendering, and that looks pretty freaking sweet. I mean, this looks really, really good. You can zoom in and see the detailness of the whole model itself. Uh, all things considered, the amount of time it took, I think it nailed it. Yeah, that's pretty good. Awesome. So there's some examples that you can get. And we'll wait for this foot soldier one to load up. Looks like that one is finished now. Okay. So kind of starting from the ground here, we can see there's a little bit of imperfection. Looks like the foot kind of got morphed into the base a little bit there, a little shadow effect. It's got some buttons, that's kind of nice. And, again, AI in its infancy has a difficulty with hands and limbs at times. You can just kind of see this isn't a good finish here. Texture got a little warp there. Back's looking pretty solid. The musket itself barely passes, still needs some correction, especially this base here. But who knows, this could be Pappy's home style musket that he made at home. And the face, as you can tell, I got a little bit confused about where to put the eyes and the ears. And then we have that. Now, other things that we can do is with Meshy, there are certain tools like smart healing. I'll demonstrate that real quick. Essentially, the best way I like to summarize smart healing is that it kind of reminds me of Adobe Photoshop, like spot heal. So essentially, you can circle in a little spot, click the smart healing button, and then hopefully Meshy understands what we're trying to get to. And there you go. So now the blemish of that extra eye has been removed. Of course, the face is still somewhat misaltered as well, and so we can highlight, do some smart healing, and see if we can fix that real quick. Almost. Trying this again. Better. And then you can click apply to model. It doesn't cost any extra credits to make the small fixes to your model, so that is a nice touch. All right, so now it's going to start rendering that. And now we have our Michael Jackson bust. And again, I'd say for the most part, everything turned out pretty good. Kind of seeing these different layers from the PBR. So you can kind of select different layers and take a look, and yeah. Can't say that it's perfect, but for AI to take just text and convert it into a 3D representation, I mean, come on, I think it did pretty well here. They have different types of patterns, shadings that you can take a look at. And of course, again, you can see the mesh and you can see the actual 3D model itself. Make adjustments if you wish. I mean, if you want to get started, this probably could help you out, save some time. You see there the skull looks like it's a little indented, possibly due to this hair here. Might have got a little confused there, but again, something that could be patched in a software like Blender. Pretty solid. And okay, we did not get what I was looking for. Kind of wanted a two-legged, so let me place in a prompt to get a two-legged character, and then I'll show you what that could look like when you add animations to it. All right, so it looks like our mouse is complete. So here we go. All I said was mouse standing on two legs, gave some negative prompts, and this is what it came back with, complete with tail and everything. Now, as you can see back here, it put the ears on the back of the ears. AI was kind of having a hard time with that. But like I showed previously, this is something typically that smart healing can fix. You'll just have to play around with it a little bit, but likely shouldn't be too difficult to clean up. But for the most part, once again, looks like it came out pretty well. Just some texture issues which can all be fixed. And this can also be retexturized. I can show that in another video. But for right now, let's put some animations and bring this guy to life. So I'm going to adjust the height. Let's say right about there. And so you pretty much just follow this guide here. So blue is chin, yellow are shoulders, very close there, and green is elbows. A will be wrist. This will be a little challenging because his wrists are kind of hard to see. And his groin, we'll see, it'll be somewhere around here, kind of like midway of the belt. Knees, say about here. And then last, his ankles. We'll go ahead and throw that through and let it generate, hopefully, a successful animation sequence so we can get our mouse to walk, potentially run. We'll see. All right, unfortunately, this did not load out very well. And it is likely because we had a hard time putting where his knees, his elbows, and wrists are at. Something to be expected. Let's make it run anyways. Yeah, there we go. I think you kind of get the idea, but I will put up another prompt so we can see if that one could work as well. Okay, so here we go with attempt number 2. And this time I typed in giant rock monster in a T-pose. I think I got that pretty close. Again, this just took a few minutes and already we have a 3D model just from text. All right, let's try to animate this one again. Set the height. And this is a little easier. So chin, shoulders. So this shoulder is not symmetrical. So just click the symmetry box. There we go. Put it back on. Next, elbow. So definitely elbow there. And again, symmetry. I want to say about here is the elbow. This may be harder because, again, it's not in a true T-pose. But we'll see. And wrist. Knees. Lastly, the ankles. All right. Hopefully this will work out this time, but it's not in a true T-pose, so this may also prove to be an issue. But we'll see. Okay, so here we go. Now, keep in mind, this was not in a true T-pose, but you kind of get the gist of it now. It looks much better than our rat character we had earlier. This model is truly walking. The arm is staying fixed because that's just how it came. And if we put it into a running motion, a little comical, but I think you get the gist of it. So now just keep in mind, this was nothing but text. Text that we put into a prompt with some negative prompts. AI took it and created this. And then we did a little bit more touching on it to put where the certain points of anatomical landmarks are at. And now it is a walking, moving character. So again, overall found Meshy to be pretty fascinating, if nothing else, in terms of making models. This is clearly early. This is like beta, alpha type stuff. So I can only see this getting better as time rolls on. And I haven't mentioned this, but you can also download your own models for free by just clicking the download button. And you get the animations that come along with it as well. But I'm not needing that one. And before we close out, there was that cockroach, which wasn't the one I was looking for, but I decided to refine it anyways. And yeah, I think it came out pretty cool. Very realistic looking. Great detail. So that is just a little precursor of Meshy and what it can do. I will certainly make more videos, probably putting in random prompts and just seeing what it comes back with. And then trying other things like image to 3D, maybe the AI texturing as well, just so y'all can see like different textures that can be put on place. So yeah, if you're more interested in this kind of stuff, please subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up, and I'll catch y'all next time. Later.